let's look at animating a view. First of all, let's get rid of this button touch-up inside code because we're not going to use that anymore. Let's open up our main storyboard and remove the button from inside there. Okay, save the storyboard and close it because we're going to add things programmatically from now on. Inside of our view.did_load, we would like to add an image view. So before we do that, I'm going to right-click my resources, add a file, and I'm going to drop in that horse image that we had in the previous image section. This could be any image you like, it doesn't have to be this one. Let me drop in this top one. I'm going to copy it to the directory, and I'm not going to bother making an image set because this is just a simple tutorial. Let's create the image view programmatically. Let's have image view 1 is equal to a new UI image view. This requires a CG_rect, and let's drop this at 0 in X, 100 in Y, and give it a height and width of 50. And close off our brackets. Then let's set our image view dot content mode equal to content mode dot scale aspect fill. Finally, set our image view dot image is equal to UI image from our file named horse.jpg. Right, so we have our image view set up. Let's add it to our view. So you can either go straight to add, or you can click view.add. And let's add image view 1. Right, so our image view will display in more or less the top left corner of our app and be very small at 50 by 50. We're making it small so we have somewhere to move it to animate it to. Now let's grab the point that the image view currently occupies at its center. So var pt is equal to image view 1 dot center. And this gives us, if we hover over center, a CG point. So a value in X and a value in Y. We're going to use this later to reset our image after our animation. So here we come to the important part of our animation. And this is the actual animate section. Now I could write this within this view.did_load section, but at this point the view hasn't actually been shown yet. So if you started animating, your user might miss it. So what I'm actually going to do is make this image view a public variable a class level variable first of all. So image view 1. Then I'm just going to remove this var so we have it accessible to the whole class. And then I'm going to remove this point by cutting it and just tidying up. We actually want to start animating when our view has appeared. So we can override the view did appear method. So now we can definitely see everything. We can paste in our center point and we can start to animate. UI view dot animate. This requires some parameters, of course, a duration, so how long the animation lasts, the delay until we start it. You can set some options. You give it the action during animation and the action on completion. So first of all, we need a duration. And let's have this running at 3 seconds. We can have a delay. We'll have this at 0. We want it to start straight away. We can set some options, and these are of type UI View Animation Options. So UI View Animation Options. Then we have our whole bunch of options to choose from. And these are the transition options. So we have auto reverse, curve ease in and out. Let's have curve ease in and ease out. So the animation will start slow, speed up, and then slow down at the end. If we want to add some more options, we can add our pipe symbol and add UI View Animation Options. Let's also have auto reverse. So it'll run the animation and then also reverse it for us. Then we need an animation argument, and this is going to be delegated to the actual animation. So it's saying, what are you actually going to do here? Let's have image view 1 dot center is equal to a new CG point, and let's move our image about. So first let's get the view bounds get max x, and this is a method, and this gets the maximum point of x from our current view. And then we're going to subtract the image view dot frame dot width over 2, and it asks us for a y that we're going to move to, and this is our center point y, and that's why we selected it up here, so we can reference it here, pt dot y. Close off our brackets, end our line, and finally close off our curly brace, and let's have a comma for the next argument. It wants a completion delegate, so let's fire this off to resetting our image view center. So image view 1 dot center equals the original point, and this just makes sure that everything resets to the right place. Let's close off our brackets, and we are ready to go. So I'm going to hit play, and what I'm expecting to happen is this image to move up and down. We have a slight problem with get max x. Let's right click it, resolve using core graphics. Right, so now I'll hit play. So I'm expecting this image to animate itself and move around on one axis, which is the x-axis, and it stops once it gets to the maximum value of the x-axis. So of course that only runs once because we've only called it once, but you've now created your very first animation. Of course, we're not limited to just moving it around. We can do other things. For example, we can change the alpha of our image. So I'm going to remove all of this inside of the animation section and have image view.alpha is equal to 0.1 f. The alpha is the amount of see-throughness, if you will, of the image. So 0.1 is almost see-through and 1 is opaque. So on completion, of course, we want to set our alpha back to 1.0 f, so it is opaque again. Now I'll hit play, and we should have this slowly fading and then coming back image. So it fades out and it comes back. And of course, if I turn off auto reverse and then hit play, let me just show you what that looks like. So this won't reverse to its original condition. It'll fade out, and then on completion it goes to this 1F without a nice transition. So in my opinion, it's always worth having that auto reverse when you want to go back to an original animation. Okay, the supported properties for your animation in UIKit are the frame, so the frame that encloses your image or whatever item it is. Also the bounds of that item, the center, as we have seen, alpha, which we've also experimented with. We can also change the color of it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to comment out this image one, so we can just set the background color of the image and be able to see it. Inside of our animation in UIView.animate, let's have .background color is equal to UIColor.red, and then let's have background color at the end equal to UIColor.clear. So let's see what happens with that kind of animation. I wonder how iOS will handle changing of colors. Okay, it more or less acts kind of like the alpha version of our animation that we had. But let's say I set my image view background color equal to UIColor.blue, not clue, blue, and then hit play. So now we're going from blue to red over time. Let's see how it handles that. Blue, and you'll see it kind of mixes the colors in to each other. So you can have very nice effects with colors and animations if you so wish, but again, please don't overdo them. Just do them where it makes sense to have an animation. In fact, the Apple guidelines do say don't overdo animations. Only use them to help the user know where they are. Right, so in summary, in this section we've added an image view programmatically. We've discovered how to animate something once the view has appeared on screen, both in position. We could also change size, color, alpha, and its frame.